After the preliminary, I took a moment to evaluate what I'd learnt and all the skills that I've now achieved. And after that, I wanted to know how I could further these and how I could keep improving them in order to create my main task. I decided that although I edited in the preliminary, I decided to give the filming a go because I didn't want to just focus in on one skill that much. I did want to be able to do both. Therefore, I decided, although I wasn't totally confident with it, I did have Anna there in order to help me as she filmed the first one, to teach me and just guide me through how to, create the match on action and to abide by the 180-degree rule. So, although I didn't use the same skill twice, I think this has widened my skills, and I've progressed far more as a media student because I can understand from an editor's and a cameraman's point of view. I really think that we improved our timings and our schedules. When we first created the preliminary task, it was a bit hit and miss with how long we thought we needed to create things. So I think this was very beneficial in that I knew exactly how long things were going to take. I knew that we should allow for extra time in case we want to add in some extra shots. Continuity was another thing that I think we really improved on. During the preliminary task, we were sort of very excited, we were very nervous, and we were still very new to all of these, all the technologies that we were using. And I think it was very hit and miss, and that sometimes we weren't very conscious about some things being in the same place. So whether it was a book on the shelf behind, or whether it was having all the lights on in the room, I think sometimes continuity wasn't at the forefront of our minds. So when we were creating the main task, we were very conscious about things like the laptop being in the same position. We hadn't originally included the shot of Anna taking off her boots, but we decided that as we were filming, she should take off her shoes, as that's part of the continuity and the logical coherent order. I think I was more comfortable filming the second time because we had less rules. We didn't necessarily have to have in the 180-degree rule, the match on action. I think it was a lot easier for me to be able to experiment, and as a creative person I like to be able to be given a bit of a free rein and just to experiment with different shots. This also built up my confidence, so I was able to practice and manage to create what's called a contra zoom, or a trombone shot. This is something that Anna had already used previously, and I wasn't actually made aware, and I didn't realise how long it had been around. I mean, Michael Jackson used it in the Thriller video, which was very effective, and I looked at that and I worked out exactly how to create it, and it was really the progression from the preliminary to the main task that gave me the confidence and the skill set to be able to produce that. The last thing I think I really developed on and progressed between the two was organisation. Because the first time we were very excited to do it. We hadn't confirmed actresses, and so Anna's mum Ali actually had to leave. So we filmed all of her section, and then I had to imagine where I would be looking in the conversation to make the two things match up. So I think organisation was definitely something we prepared and we carried out better. When doing the main task, we knew exactly when we'd film, we had the camera for long enough, and we knew transport, where we were going, how we were going to get there, and who was going to be in it. We had all the props ready, and I think that really helped to do smooth filming, and just makes you have a better feel and a lot more confidence about the production.